Hello everyone, welcome back to Let It Cook cooking channel. Today we're making asparagus risotto. For this, we need pepper, sugar, some asparagus peels, butter, shallots, salt, peeled asparagus, risotto rice. Here we have a bit of vermouth, white wine, broth, parmesan, and an orange. First of all, I want to say a quick thank you. I received some very elegant glasses from Zyto Glass. They gifted me these glasses. I think that's really nice. Thank you very much. I wasn't paid for it. I just wrote to them because I love the glasses. Check them out. I'll share a link below. These are really great glasses, and when you drink a really good wine, you also need a nice glass. So I can really recommend them to you, and I'm very happy that I finally have some at home now. So first I cut off the ends of the asparagus. I kept some of the asparagus peels. For a risotto, we always need quite a lot of stock, and I want the stock to have a good flavor, so I'm going to boil everything together and add the asparagus peels as well. They can add more, and I'll get some asparagus flavor automatically. That's really practical. Now I'm cutting off the tips here, and the rest of the asparagus I'll just cut into small cubes today. Trying something new instead of always slices. So. These are the last days of asparagus season, I know, but I'm just a big asparagus fan, so I bought it again. They still had some wonderful ones at this stand. And as long as there's still German asparagus, I'm not really a huge fan of the Greek one, because sometimes it actually tastes pretty good now, I admit. It used to be very bitter, but now the quality has improved, and now we're just going to cut it into little cubes like this. It doesn't have to be too precise because it all cooks together nicely later on. Okay, and now just cut the tips into 3 slices. They can be a bit bigger because that's the best part, and we don't want to pulverize it. We want to be able to see it nicely later. Okay, and now the shallots. Today I'm just using one larger one because asparagus has a very delicate flavor and I don't want too much onion in it, you know? So the flavor doesn't get overpowered. Just cut it in half, slice it lengthwise, then cut it crosswise. If you'd like a great leckhackmesser, there's a link up here where you can order one. And now just finely chop it here. And then the whole thing, we can add that to the stock as well. It doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, it's all flavor. Now I'm bringing the water to a boil and adding the stock. I can also add a splash of white wine here along with the asparagus peels right away. We'll let the stock steep briefly. Why is that? It's very important that the stock is warm. When you saute the rice later and finish the risotto, you don't want to interrupt the cooking process, so the stock should already be simmering, okay? That's why I heat up all the liquids beforehand, so I can just keep adding more liquid with the ladle and the whole cooking process keeps going, okay? And the rice doesn't cool down again. And it doesn't keep getting hot and cooling down and getting hot again, so make sure to keep the broth hot when you're cooking risotto. That's one of the most important things. Earlier, I left out clarified butter from the list for sautéing. If you don't know how to make it, there's a video from us up here about it. It's really simple. You just need to melt the butter. So, heat up the clarified butter, and first we add the finely diced shallots. Then I add 1/3 of the asparagus. So why only 1/3? I want to get a well-rounded flavor in there. I can let 1/3 of it cook down now since the cooking process is relatively long, and I'll add the rest of the asparagus at the end so that the risotto still has a bit of bite and some structure. Alright, briefly saute it and add the risotto rice right away as well. What I always recommend now is to add a bit of sugar and salt right away. Yes, we season everything already during the sautéing process. Let it toast nicely. Basically, I'll tell you right away, making risotto is always the same process. Saute the onions, add the rice, no matter what flavor you want in it. Add that as well, and then the cooking process is always the same. Yeah, not much changes there. Okay, once that's sauteed a little bit, then first add all the nolly brat. I intentionally didn't cook it together so that the delicate flavor stays in there a bit more, yeah. And now this roasting process, it just takes forever. Use a small sieve for the peels so you don't have any peels in there, yeah, and just keep adding a little bit at a time and wait again, yeah. Stir again, wait again. This will take about 25 minutes now. I would estimate about 20 to 25 minutes until this whole process is done, yeah. When we add liquid for the third or fourth time, we'll add the rest of the asparagus so it can cook nicely right in our risotto, yeah. And then I'll show you how we finish it. Okay, filled it up again. That was almost a bit too much now, yeah. Don't add too much broth at once. That's just better for this, like I told you before, for this creaminess. Now we're at the fourth or fifth time refilling. Yeah, I just scooped out those asparagus peels because it was getting a little annoying having to use the sieve every time while I showed you this. Don't be surprised, just leave them in. All right, fill it up one more time. And now add the remaining asparagus. And also the tips. The tips are cut a bit larger now, yeah. Of course, they can go in right away too. They should get tender too. And I would say now we need about 10 more minutes for the risotto. And that's just right with little slices and pieces like that. With risotto, people usually use too much rice. I can tell you that right away. Yeah, so very often in restaurants, risotto is served as an intermediate course. And you almost always still have a huge portion left in the pot, which the staff can eat because you always use too much. That's the case here too. I've got 150 grams of rice here for 2 people. That will end up being too much. I already know that. So maybe you should just use 120 grams of rice for 2 people. It depends on how hungry you are. If you're really hungry, then that's fine. Because right now it still looks like very little, but the rice will soak up a lot of water and will expand a lot, so to speak, yeah? And in the end, you'll have a huge portion, right? And there you just have to see how hungry you are, right? You can already see how much liquid it really absorbs, yeah. So there was quite a lot of liquid and relatively little rice, so it really needs a good amount of liquid. It already smells fantastic in here. Of course, it's also partly because I have a construction site outside my door and can't open the windows today. The smell won't leave the kitchen today. Now I'm adding a bit of orange zest, but really be careful with that. 3 little strips are enough, yeah? So really just a tiny bit. All right, that's enough. No more than that. It should just give a tiny hint so later you wonder, what is that flavor in there? Yeah, if you use too much, it'll taste like orange. The whole asparagus flavor will be gone. So you see, it's really just a few tiny, tiny bits that are in there now. Because the peel has, of course, been washed with hot water. It's an organic orange, obviously. I don't need to tell you that. But it gives such an intense aroma that you really only need a very, very small amount, yeah? The worst thing you can do when making risotto is to cook it too dry, yeah? A risotto has to be creamy, loose, and fluid, yeah? If you go to eat risotto in Italy, it's never served as a mound, but rather it almost has a soupy consistency, I'd say, yeah? So, and that's why a risotto has to be cooked fresh. You can't prepare a risotto in advance. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Reheating risotto just doesn't taste good, yeah? A risotto has to be cooked fresh. It's a bit of work, of course, yeah? But for that, you get a really good result in the risotto, yeah? And always scrape down the sides if there are grains sticking there. It's really important that you always make sure everything is cooking in the liquid. There's nothing worse than having a few hard grains left in the risotto. Then it just means it was cooked badly, yeah? You could also, for example, put a nice grilled prawn on top or a scallop or whatever you like. Then you'll have a really great dish. So there are no limits to your imagination. And you have your dish ready very quickly and don't have to prepare much. Just one thing I ask of you, please don't put too much salt in the liquid, okay? Because if the stock tastes too strong, your risotto will end up way too salty. It keeps reducing and reducing, you know? And whatever is in the broth basically gets more and more concentrated and intense in flavor. Of course, you can season the rice a little because then you'll know how much salt you've put in. The liquid itself should be relatively clean and unsalted, let's put it that way. Otherwise, it'll end up way too salty. We're also going to add a good amount of Parmesan, and that has salt too, you know? Just be a little careful with that. I'll bring that up again. Now I'm adding just a little bit of white pepper. Today I have, yeah, white pepper is good. There were still a few black peppercorns in the grinder, and I refilled it with white pepper. Now let's check how far along the rice is. The asparagus needs about 3 more minutes, I'd say. 3-4 minutes roughly. So we've got the timing just right. But if you saute the asparagus right at the beginning, in my experience, you do get a nice, great asparagus flavor throughout the whole thing, but it's just overcooked. And that's a shame, yeah. We want the asparagus to be, you can also cook the asparagus tips separately and cook a bit of extra asparagus. But that's just more effort again in another pot and so on and so forth. So this way is just fine. It also has a really great orange aroma. Just a little bit. Not too much, not too little. Really fantastic. Try it at home. We're almost there. Now add the cold butter. It wasn't that cold anymore, but it's better if it's really cold, I'll tell you right away. Mine has been out a bit too long. So only take it out at the last moment, because then it has the advantage that it binds a little better, yeah? This liquid. And now the Parmesan, and a good amount of it. Always more than you think. And that also helps bind this liquid for us again. And then we get that creaminess in there. It's just fantastic. Oh. Check the risotto's consistency. That's exactly how a risotto should look, yeah? Not some big lump or something, not a pile that you can't even get down properly. That's just not the right consistency. Try making it like this at home. You'll never make it any other way again. I learned my risotto from an Italian mama, so come on. If she doesn't know how to do it, who does? Now let's give it a try. A little dash of salt, but really just a dash. What I think I'll add now is a tiny splash of orange juice, really just a few drops. There. We might have a bit too little orange, but taste-wise, it's already a 10. Fantastic. And now let's plate it up quickly. And now you just put the risotto on here, nice and creamy, just the way it should be. Of course, put the asparagus tips in the middle so you can still see them clearly. Add 2 orange fillets in between. Sprinkle pepper on top. Just a little bit. If you want, chop up a little tarragon or a similar herb and sprinkle it on top. Only one thing left, taste it. You have to try cooking this. It tastes amazing. Enjoy the European Football Championship while it's on. We're all keeping our fingers crossed for our team, including me. Take care, friends. Please comment, like, and subscribe, share with others, and consider joining as a channel member to support me. That would be great. I'll see you next week on Let It Cook, Cooking Channel. Take care. Bye.